Judah blood.
No, we don't fold up on the press. We go harder than we ever did before. The sons of God, we gon' take the kingdom back. That's a fact. That's what I know. We in your city, state to state, place to place. Yeah, you know we on the road. Can't stop this word from getting out. I know they worry by now. That's too much smoke. Yeah, going in. This ain't no religion, we born in. Can't keep these laws, you can't join in. We ready for war, we are on me. Open carry these precepts. No, I'm not trying to conceal them. The man of position been hiding too long. Now it's time to reveal them. Time to get in line, we at the finish line. Why you niggas thinking that you got plenty of time? When them terrorists start flying in, don't be the one who getting left behind. Cause she ain't wanna put in no work. Blaming all on these curses, ignoring all these verses. I heard sinning on purpose, following after these churches. Don't get it twisted, we bout business. Don't just talk about it, we live it. What's a man without a vision? What's a plan if you can't finish? Can't help if you don't get it. Can't be moving off of my feelings. Maybe one day God gon' change your spirit. Lord will. No, we don't fold up on the pressure. We go harder than we ever did before. The sons of God, we gon' take the kingdom back. That's a fact. That's what I know. We in your city, state to state, place to place. Yeah, you know we on the road. Can't stop this word from getting out. I know they worry by now. That's too much smoke. I'm a G, just a God, created in the book of Psalms. I'm a lion in the heart. I put in work, I punch the clock. I go hard on the yard. I'm a big dog when I bark. I go ham on your pastor, stick a fork in.
Shalom, shalom, most high Christ bless. Brothers, how y'all doing? Sisters, how y'all doing? All praises to the Most High. We back with another class. All praise to the Father. As y'all see the link, join the Booster Club. Support. To my left.
Hey, shalom, Israel. This is Officer Hosea. All praise to the Most High. Salute to you.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm a little amped up because we fresh off shaking Memphis, man. Word of God went out strong. Shout out all them blitzers out there, man, taking over the city, waking up the elect of God. So what we talking about today? Go on, put the meme up. Read that for me, sir.
The Murmur Party. Deny the invite.
So this is a party you don't want to go to. Play that clip for me. I know we all seen this movie. Go on here, play the clip. Make sure it's muted because the devil don't want us. Timestamp 148. And we're going to stop at 156. Just mute it, because the devil don't want us to use movie clips because of sound and all that jazz. 148, please. This was some of y'all movie. We all seen this. We all seen this movie. 148. That's what we're going to start at. Make sure it's muted. Make sure it's muted. They getting it. Uh-oh. And he out of there. Okay, why I play this? Again, we talking about the Murmur Party. This is a party you don't want to be invited to. If you are invited, you need to do what? Say it with me. Deny the invite. Say it one more time. Deny the invite. You don't want to go to that party. Okay, let's get Romans 15 and verse 4. Let's get it in.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Read it again from the top.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So the things written in the scriptures were left for us to learn from. That's why we have all of this history. You get to see the forefathers and the foremothers act out what the law says, whether they keep the law, whether they don't keep the law. You see the outcomes of their decisions. That is what the scriptures is left for us to learn from. Okay, this man broke God's commandments. He was judged. He was put to death. I don't want to do what he did. This sister broke God's commandments and she was plagued. She was given a disease. I don't want to do what she did. We are supposed to learn from their mistakes and experiences. Everybody understand that? Read on.
that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
So the scriptures is what gives our souls comfort. That's what's going to comfort your soul. Not a bottle, not drugs, not being hypersexual. That's not going to comfort your soul. Only the word of God truly comforts our soul. So we got to stay in it. So on that note, what we talking about? Let's get Article 1. Let's get Article 1. Because we talking about murmuring. Article 1, how to know if someone is talking behind your back. We want to look at these 11 signs. Read that title.
11 signs someone is talking about you behind your back and what to do about it.
Now, these are just examples, certain traits. You got to take it, chew the meat, spit out the bones, right? Because I saw one. It was crazy as hell. They said, because I was looking up attributes of traitors. What a lot of people don't understand, when you murmur, you have the attributes of a traitor because you don't voice what you're saying to the people that can actually fix the problem. You like to create your little group in the corner and run your mouth. And you smile in everybody's face like everything is okay. That is the attributes of a traitor because you sit amongst us. So let's look at these signs. Let's scroll down. Let's look at sign 1. What does that one say? Let's read that.
Signs someone is talking behind your back.
Number 1.
They give you backhanded compliments.
Read.
Someone who talks about you behind your back is often angry or upset with you. These emotions can come through in how they interact with you, such as thinly veiled jabs or backhanded compliments.
Who ever heard of backhanded compliments? Who ever heard of that before? None of us ever heard of that before. One hand. When you hear that term, it's not a Negro term. But when they give you this example, you're going to understand, like, oh, that's a backhanded comment. Read.
An example of a backhanded compliment might be, congrats on getting in. I hear that's great for a state school.
You got to read it how they would say it, though, because you reading it like, professional. You trying to pronounce everything. You got to read it how they would say it. You got to put the voice to it. Go ahead.
Congrats on getting in. I hear that's great for a state school.
Y'all hear that? That's a jab. That's a jab. That's feedback, y'all. We got some feedback. But that's a jab. If somebody say something like that, you're going to be like, okay, what you mean by that? Number 2.
They avoid answering your questions.
They avoid answering your questions. Let's get an example. Read that little point.
If you suspect someone is unhappy with your performance on a group project, for example, you might ask, are you mad about the project? If they avoid you or say they don't want to talk, it is possible they've been talking to others about their feelings.
Nah, we can't always go off of that. But most murmurers, they avoid things like, do you have any suggestions? Is it something we can improve? They don't say nothing. They only talk when they're in their little huddle. Let's go to sign 3.
They act differently around you.
Sometimes that's true. They switch up the way they interact with you. They start acting funny. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes. Read.
One of the first signs that someone may be speaking badly about you is a change in their behavior. The way they greet you may be awkward or forced. Their laugh could be fake, or they might start to avoid you instead of being friendly. The better you know the person in question, the easier it'll be for you to tell if something is different in the way they treat you.
Read that point, that last point.
The better you know the person in question, the easier it'll be for you to tell if something is different in the way that they treat you.
That's why the more you're around people, you start to notice their behavior. The more we're around each other, we can tell when one another is happy or when we sad, that's when y'all really get to know each other. Y'all build a bond. Like, man, bro, you usually be cracking jokes. You ain't yourself. Little things like that. And also, you'll notice a switch up if you're around a person if they start to distance themselves from you. Read.
If you pick up any of these changes in energy, it could point to disloyal behavior.
A change in behavior could point to disloyal behavior. Okay, let's go.
Their body language seems
That's the
closed
Most High.
off.
It say what?
Their body language seems closed off.
Their body language seems closed off. Now, this was talking about them acting differently towards you. Most of these murmurers, they separate themselves from everybody. They are never around. Kind of sound like what we was talking about before about the class. I don't feel welcome here. These separatists. Murmurers is the same way. Keep going.
Body language can reveal a lot, including whether or not someone is really your friend. If they potential traitor in question has a hard time maintaining eye contact and constantly shifts their gaze away from you, that's a possible indicator that they are hiding something.
Now, we can't always go off of that because some people, they don't give people their full eye contact. Sometimes they stay off in space. So don't go off the movies like, what was that movie? Whoever saw The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson. And he cornered the dude who set him up. He's like, you looking to the left. That's how I know you're lying. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. We can't always go off of looks and all of that. But some of this stuff be true. The separation, the change up and how they deal with you, them distancing themselves. But we can't go off of looking and eye contact and all that. Keep going. Let's go to the next point. The next point.
They seem to be avoiding you altogether.
They seem to be avoiding you altogether. These type of people, they always seem to be avoiding coming to people with their problem. It don't be making sense. You have an issue, you got a problem with something that's going on in the body, or you don't like the way something is going, it's a gripe, it's a discrepancy, but you never come to nobody in leadership about the problem. It's always brother so-and-so. It's always sister so-and-so. Sometimes it's soldier so-and-so. It's never a person that can hear you out and try to fix the issue. Do that make sense, y'all? Let's keep going. Let's get to the next point because we ain't going to read all of them, all of the paragraphs. I want to hit them points. Read on.
They hang out with people you don't like.
Now it's getting a little too personal because you can't always go off of these things, every single thing they say in the articles. Keep going.
They go out of their way to hide their phone from you.
Hiding their phone, hiding information. Sometimes this is true with that behavior. Keep going.
They get quiet when you approach their group.
That right there. Why, if what you talking about is for everybody to hear, why get quiet? You ever seen people at work when the boss come in? Everybody, the boss come in. Everybody turn around, go their separate ways, scatter like roaches. Well, if what y'all talking about ain't nothing bad, why switch up when certain people walk over there? Somebody from security come over there, conversation switch. An officer go back there, a soldier, somebody. Or if it's a group of sisters, a sister come that way. Now the conversation is different. Now they talking about shoes. Sis, y'all wasn't talking about shoes. You wasn't talking about stilettos and all this. You was talking about something else you had an issue with. Or brothers. Now brother talking about the bliss coming up, but he just was complaining and crying about an instruction that came down. Read. Let's keep going.
They overcompensate by being super friendly.
Being fake. And we're going to hit the scriptures on that. They overcompensate by being super friendly, being fake. That's that flattery. Sister bow down so low to the floor, she looked like she in Islam. You ever seen how Muslims pray? That's how far she bound that. Shalom, sir. But then go back and man. And I don't like this. And I don't like that. And then the brothers, they punch a hole in their chest. Shalom, most high in Christ bless. And then be whispering in the back. Keep going.
They gossip about other people.
If somebody is gossiping about somebody else, what make you think you off limits? If you catch them doing that, you can't be like, oh, well, this my sis. She ain't going to do. Come on now. This my bro. He ain't going to know. If they murmuring and gossiping about other people or other things, nobody is off limits. They have no threshold. Keep going.
People begin treating you differently.
Sometimes that happens. That can happen if a false narrative is painted about someone or something. You know what make me think about this, what come to my mind? If you in an office and you get to running your mouth about how something ain't right in the office, what is that going to do to people who may have been inquiring about it? They going to think the same way. They ain't even been in the office. Maybe it's coming on the new moon. You badmouth the new moon and what we do on it. What are people that never been to the new moon going to do? They're going to believe what that person said. You could drop that article. Just something to think about as we going into this. Get article, before we get the next article, get 1 Corinthians 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 11. Also, whenever you got something, jump in, bro. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 11.
Read.
Now all these things happen unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
Read that again from the top.
Now all these things happen unto them for ensamples.
So all the things that we are about to read happen as examples. These were left as examples. When you read 1 Corinthians chapter 10, Paul talks about the history of the forefathers and things that they did that went against God. From there, give verse 10.
Verse 10. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured.
So the forefathers was murmuring. Okay, what happened to them because they was murmuring? Read.
And were destroyed of the destroyer.
They were what?
Destroyed of the destroyer.
Our forefathers and foremothers got killed for murmuring. We don't know that. We always be talking about, the adultery, the fornication, idolatry. You got killed for running your mouth in secret, complaining. Always got something to say. And I'm going to show you what those spirits do, the spirits that like to murmur, because it's all of the devil. From there, we get Numbers 14 and 1. Now get Article 2. Read that right there. Let's read the title of Article 2.
16 signs of the modern coward.
Now, when we hear coward, we always think like runaway, afraid. But it's more to the coward. It says 16 signs of the modern coward. Now, let's get these signs. Remember what we talking about. We talking about murmurers. Let's read that. Sign number 1.
He fears honesty.
These people can never be honest about what's on their mind. They never utter it. It's always in secret or in their murmur party that they throwing. Everybody don't be at the murmur party. It's certain people. I'm going to get to it later. I don't want to jump the gun. It's certain people they like to invite to their murmur party. Read.
He avoids strong people.
Wait, it said he avoids strong people. Those strong people are people that will tell him or her about themselves. So that's why they have their special group that they say all their complaints and all of that to. Keep going.
He hangs out with weak-minded people.
What kind of people do murmurers hang around?
Weak-minded people.
What kind of people do these sisters that murmur hang around?
weak-minded people.
So they look for sisters that are weak-minded that will entertain a foolishness. Same thing with the brothers. They look for brothers that are weak-minded that will entertain their foolishness. Read.
He manipulates words to manipulate people.
What do?
He manipulates words to manipulate people.
They manipulate words to manipulate people. Go ahead, you was finna say something?
Yeah, go back to number 3. I don't think you finished that one all the way out.
He hangs out with weak-minded people he thinks he can take advantage of.
Read that again.
He hangs out with weak-minded people he thinks he could take advantage of.
That's why they hang around the weak-minded people. They can take advantage of these type of sisters. They can take advantage of these type of brothers. Read.
Verse 5. Number 5.
4.
He manipulates words to manipulate people.
Mm-hmm.
He never apologizes.
He or she never apologizes. They don't think that they're wrong. Next one.
He lay blames on everyone and everything else.
Never take accountability. That's somebody that don't take accountability. Even if what they say cause a whole issue. Next one.
He makes up excuses and confuses excuses for reasons.
Read that again.
He makes up excuses and confuses excuses for reasons.
And this could be men or women. It's not just men. This is 16 signs of a modern coward. Next one.
He buys into mainstream excuses. And thinks
Read.
He's a crybaby.
A what?
A crybaby.
And
creates drama to hide the fact that he fucked up badly.
This is what they do. This is what they do. Excuse the language. Don't act like y'all don't be in the house. Mother F. But this is what they do. This is what these people do. Next point.
He likes to put on a show, and it has no ending.
Straight character. Again, men and women. Keep going.
He's a bully.
A what?
A bully.
A what?
A bully.
Bullies don't disappear because we grown. They appear as adults. And we got to be aware of these things even in the sanctuary. That's why I just said at the other point, it said they pick and choose who they come with their BS to. Keep going.
He seeks validation online only.
Hey, we done had a couple people like that up in here. Man, they be on them damn keys like the Blue Man. Y'all know the commercial. Doom, da, doom, 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 doom. Y'all ain't never seen the Blue Man be banging on them keys? That's what they be doing. Be all on that keyboard making statuses. Keep going.
He doesn't dare to take on a challenge alone.
That's why they need a group. That's why they got a murmur party going on. Do y'all see the trend of this spirit? Keep going.
He's a passive-aggressive
Bleep that one out. We could bleep that one out. Go ahead.
He fights back.
Wait, did you read it?
He's a passive-aggressive little bee.
Yeah, that's what he is. That's what she is. They not bold. These people, do y'all see that? They don't come out in the open. It's always, they don't come forward. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to point out something about that. I'm going to read a little bit. Read the paragraph up under that, number 14, soldier.
That's when he thinks he can get away with sarcasm or subtle nonsense. This is when the coward is constantly updating his Facebook status in annoying ways that make no sense.
Read.
In other words, he doesn't dare to come clean. He thinks he's always gaining the upper hand with his childish antics. He doesn't. See how the modern coward is also attention-seeking.
Read that again.
See how the modern coward is also attention-seeking.
So that's a key. That's a key to knowing that type of person because they are attention seekers. Keep reading.
Instead of approaching the matter at hand like a man, he decides to sulk about it.
Hey, hey, can I read a scripture along with
Break
that
it
real
out.
quick?
Break it out. Break it out.
Hey, read Proverbs chapter 6. Read 16 and 19.
The book of Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things does the Lord hate.
So the Lord hates these attributes of a person who carry these characteristics. Read on.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
Read verse 19.
A false witness.
A what?
A false witness.
That what?
That speaketh lies.
So when you have someone who what is the name of this
The Murmur Party denied an
this
invite.
article?
16 signs of a modern day coward.
16 signs of a modern day coward. So a coward is also a false witness that's going to speak lies. And guess what else he is? Read.
A false witness that speaketh lies. And he that soweth discord among brethren.
So that's the whole thing. It's to sow discord amongst the congregation. To sow discord amongst the men and the women in the congregation. So you have to be very mindful if you are invited to the Murmur Party, because essentially what you're doing is you're becoming a false witness and you're going to speak lies and you're going to sow discord amongst the congregation. And the Lord hates that thing. That's an abomination.
Facts. 100%. That's what they want to do. They want to come in, cause confusion, destroy the unity. Somebody that murmur, once they get 4, 5 sisters, they can have all y'all thinking evil of each other with no proof. From there, that's 15. Read 15.
He fights back not because he's right, but to cover up his flaws.
Y'all see that? Read on. 16.
He feels he can't go back.
So read that first paragraph. It says he feels he can't go back. Read that first one.
I know it can be tough to face reality, especially after you mess up so bad that you think nobody is going to forgive you or believe that you can change for the better.
This is how these people are. Jump down to that last line, and the modern coward.
And the modern coward doesn't want any of that. He just continues the self-destructive path.
That's what these people do. They are self-destructive, and they want to bring people with them. Let's get Numbers 14. Numbers 14 and 1 now. Now, we're going to jump through Numbers chapter 14 because this is the chapter that Paul was referencing. And we're going to see what happened to the murmurers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
They did what?
Murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
Here we go with some murmuring. Let's see what happens. Read.
And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
Do y'all hear how they talking? They up here murmuring about getting delivered from Egypt. Unsatisfied, ungrateful. This is what murmurers do in the sanctuary. That's why they always got something to say. Same people. We just in a different time period. From there, jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord.
So what happened right there was Moses had to plead with the Most High. We just jumped. Like I said, we're going to jump. Moses had to plead with the Most High not to destroy everybody and start over with him. Because that's what the Lord wanted to do, because they was murmuring, being demons. From there, jump to verse 21. We're going to read 21 to 24.
Verse 21. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord.
Read on.
Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness.
Y'all got to think about that. 'Cause, see, the Most High, he wanted to destroy everybody and start over with him. 'Cause that's what the Lord wanted to do, because they was murmuring, being demons. From there, jump to verse 22. We're going to read 22 to 24. Our people seen Moses part the Red Sea. They actually seen this with their eyes. They seen the river turn to blood. They seen all the 10 plagues. They seen the fire come down. They seen the Egyptians get drowned in the Red Sea. They seen all this and still went against God. Is that not the same people of today? Yes. Stiff-necked and hard-headed. Read.
And have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it.
So their judgment was they was not going to see the promised land. This was the judgment for the murmurers. But who was saved? Keep reading.
But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and had followed me fully.
Read that again.
But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and hath followed me fully.
We got to follow God fully. We got to get to that point. If you ain't there, you got to get to that point. You got to follow the Lord fully, no doubt. You got to be fully persuaded in your mind. Caleb was delivered. Caleb made it to the promised land because he followed God fully. Read on.
Him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it.
And Caleb made it into the promised land and got his own plot of land, so on and so forth. Jump down to verse 27. Now we're going to read the judgment of the murmurers. We're going to read it being acted out. We're going to go all the way to 45. Read.
Verse 27. How long shall I bear with this evil congregation?
What did the Lord call them?
This evil congregation, which murmur against me.
Read.
I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me.
Read on.
Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you.
Read.
Your carcass shall fall in this wilderness.
He said y'all gonna die in this wilderness. Y'all not gonna see the promised land that I promised to y'all forefathers. Y'all gonna die right here. Read.
And all that were numbered of you, according to their whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me.
Read.
Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein.
Read on.
Save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun.
So Caleb and Joshua, that generation, they made it into the promised land. That generation before them, they was rebellious. They went against everything God said. The Lord said, y'all gonna die right here. Same thing for us. If we don't get it right this time, it ain't no do-overs. You gonna die right here in America. History repeat itself. Read on.
But your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised.
How did they feel about the land? Read that again.
And they shall know the land which ye have despised.
They despised it, murmuring and complaining. Just like some people come in here and they despise this truth. Read.
But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness.
Read.
And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. After the number of the days in which ye search the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise.
The Lord made them walk over and over and over and over in that wilderness. That's where you're going to spend your last days. Y'all going to die here. Read.
I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die.
Read a little faster. Read on.
And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him, by bringing up a slander upon the land.
Those men was sent to go check the land out we was finna go to, and they came back and brought an evil report and put a spirit of fear on everybody. That's the same thing murmurers do. They make up things, they tell it to other people, and corrupt people's mind frame. That's like somebody make up something about a certain sister or something, or a certain brother, if you tell that to multiple people, they're going to look at that person the wrong way because of something that you said. Or you speaking on the inner workings of the body. Now you got somebody that just walked in here, now they looking at the leaders crazy because something that you saying that ain't true. Read on.
Even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search the land, lived still.
Read.
And Moses told these sayings unto all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly.
Read on.
And they rose up early in the morning, and gat them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and will go unto the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned.
Read on.
And Moses said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord? But it shall not prosper.
Read.
Go not up, for the Lord is not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies.
Read on.
For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you. Ye shall fall by the sword, because you are turned away from the Lord. Therefore, the Lord will not be with you.
That's why it's important for us to stay out the midst of sin, because when we in the midst of sin, the Most High not with us. They finna go to war, and the Lord is not with them. What was they just doing? Murmuring. Read.
But they presumed to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord and Moses departed not out of the camp.
Read.
Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites which dwelt in the hill, and smote them, and discomfited them, even unto Hormah.
So we just read about them getting destroyed for murmuring. Numbers 11:1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11 and verse 1.
We think murmuring ain't that serious. Read.
And when the people complained,
What did they do?
the people complained.
What did they do?
Complained.
What did they do?
Complained.
Read.
It displeased the Lord.
What did it do to the Most High?
Displeased the Lord.
It displeases the Most High when he hear you murmuring, when he hear you talking in secret, running your mouth, telling other people a bunch of nonsense. Read.
And the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them,
Read.
and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
Did we not just read about some more people getting killed for murmuring? This Bible ain't nothing to play with. These commandments is nothing to play with. So we shouldn't be up here thinking it's a game, murmuring, or you will receive the same fate. From there, get Proverbs 10 and 18. Let's talk about murmurers. Here's some of their characteristics. Proverbs 10 and 18. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 18.
Read.
He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool.
Read it again from the top.
He that hideth hatred with lying lips.
That's what murmurers be doing. Just like this image right here. Oh, you heard what I said? Yeah, I don't really like that sister. Yeah, I don't really like that officer. Yeah, I don't like that sister. You know, they don't got no real sister bonds in here. You know, they it's cliques in here. Running your mouth, saying stuff that ain't true. Some of it be assumptions. Some of it be because they might actually hate the person that they murmuring about. Low key. Read it again.
He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool.
God said you a fool when you utter a slander. You're a fool. You're foolish. These people hide hatred with their lying lips. Where we walking to now? Job 32 and 21. It said they hide hatred with lying lips. What's something else these people do? I don't care how low you bow to the floor, how hard you punch yourself in the chest. We ain't stupid in here. Understand that.
The book of Job, chapter 32, verse 21.
Let
me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto man. For I know not to give flattering titles. In so doing, my maker would soon take me away.
These people, they like to flatter people. All that extra, yes, sir, and shalom, sir, yes, you're very mighty, sir, mighty teacher, sir, all that BS, trying to flatter somebody. Oh, shalom, sir, yeah, I just love it here, and And then them be the main ones. Be up there running their mouth. You're not fooling nobody with flattery. From there, get Proverbs. Let's go back to Proverbs 6. Let's read that again. Matter of fact, 1 Corinthians 14:33. 1 Corinthians 14:33. What do these people do?
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion.
So God is not the author of confusion. Read.
But of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
That's what the Most High wants in all churches of the saints. He wants peace. But murmurers cause confusion. So when you see confusion taking place, the Spirit of God ain't there. What spirit is there when confusion is taking place? James 3:16. What spirit is taking place?
The book of James chapter 3 and verse 16.
It's a spirit there, but it ain't the Spirit of God. Read.
For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
What kind of works are in place?
And every evil work.
What kind of work?
Evil work.
So if it's murmuring going on, is that the Spirit of God, brothers and sisters? No, that's the spirit of the devil. What we doing right now is we go through these things and you start seeing this as you go in your walk, you're going to be able to spot it like, I remember the class. I remember what the scripture said. Hey, y'all out the spirit. I'm going to get into that next, what you do when you see it. Read that again.
For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
Get Exodus 16:7. People be up here murmuring, you murmuring against leadership, murmuring about leadership. You didn't like the order that came down. You didn't like the instruction that came down. Who you murmuring against? Let us show you who you murmuring against. Read that.
The book of Exodus chapter 16 and verse 7.
Read.
And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord. For that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us?
The Most High hears your wickedness. Who read the scripture where it said we got an angel beholding us? In Proverbs, you got an angel watching everything you do. The Most High knows about your wickedness. You spreading slander. You murmuring, trying to get people to believe your narrative in here. Read.
And Moses said, this shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full.
Read.
For that the Lord heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord.
When you murmuring against the leadership, it ain't the leadership, you murmuring against the Lord. Because who put the leadership in place? 1 Corinthians 12:18. The men you see set up, they didn't ask to be put there. The Most High chose the men and put the men there. So as the men moving things around for the sake of the body, and then you go back behind closed doors and murmur about it, yeah, show some of them images. The Most High set up our leaders. The Most High set these men up. These are the prophets of God back on the earth. And you so foolish, don't even know who you speaking against. Same way the people did in the wilderness. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 18.
Read.
But now have God set the members, every one of them, in the body.
Who set the members up?
Hath God set the members, every one of them, in the body.
Even the brother who his task is to drill the holes in the wall and do this and do that, the Lord set that man up in that spot. Even the sister who she got put in this position in the kids' room, the Lord put her there. The brothers and sisters that's in broadcast team, the Most High put them there. We didn't know that these brothers and sisters will be coming in with these different gifts. The Most High orchestrating everything. Same thing with the leadership. From there, get Philippians 2 and verse 14, hold that. We read article 2, get video 1. And I pray we taking notes on this. And hey, if you a murmurer, you're going to be getting cut by this class. It is what it is. And you going to get the hell up out of here. Who saw Fresh Prince? You know the opening of Fresh Prince? Yo, Holmes, the Bel Air, they threw him right, look, sis know what I'm talking about, threw his behind right out the door. That's what's going to happen to any brother or sister that's in here sowing discord. And if y'all hear about it, report it. We're going to get to that. We got that video queued up. I think it's a TikTok. It's real short. Or YouTube short. It's very short. Let's make sure we got sound.
Toxic people will say one thing to your face and another one behind your back. They love to gossip and spread rumors.
Pause it. He said, what kind of people, y'all? Toxic. They'll say one thing and then another behind your back. If they do it to somebody else, you are not off limits. Understand that. Play.
Toxic people will say one thing to your face and another one behind your back. They love to gossip and spread rumors. They will also take any opportunity to make you look bad in front of others. They are so sneaky that you might not even realize that they are doing so until it's too late.
This is what murmurers do. Their sole purpose and job is to cause confusion. And you got to be in the spirit and you got to be studying so you can spot these things. You ain't got to be of no special status to correct something. Let me say that too. You hear some sisters in the bathroom murmuring, y'all out the spirit. It's a suggestion box right here. Why you don't put nothing in the suggestion box? Same thing on the brother side. It's a suggestion box. Rank man, they got certain tiers where they push ideas, whatever up. But you ain't using that. You in your little huddle. Yeah, man, I don't like the time that class starts. Yeah, me neither. I don't be having no parking spot, man. I don't like that. They don't know what they doing up in here. What? Read. Philippians 2:14.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Do all things without murmurings and disputings.
What did God say?
Do all things without murmurings and disputings.
Do all things without murmurings or disputings. We ain't supposed to be doing that up in here. That ain't supposed to be flying up in here. That's not supposed to be going on. When it's going on, that is of the devil. And the person kicking it off, they got the devil on them. Period. And that's the New Testament. That showed that these people that be involved in this don't read the Bible. Get Jude 1 and 16. We still in the New Testament. Jude 1 and 16.
The book of Jude 1 and 16.
Uh-huh.
These are murmurers, complainers.
What are these type of people? Read it again.
These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts.
These are murmurers, complainers. They have no solution. That's something else with murmurers. They just run their mouth and nitpick about everything. I don't like the way, why they got the decorations like this. Why I can't park right here. Why I got to sit over here. Why they got to search me at the door. Why they got to do this. That's all they do. Yap, 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 yap. What's the damn Charlie Brown thing? That's what they do. No solutions. Read.
Walking after their own lust.
Walking after what?
Their own lust.
Walking after their own lust. Their lust is to destroy the unity. Their lust is to paint a narrative that's not true. Their lust is to corrupt other people's mind up in here. Have them looking at things through their perspective. Read.
In their mouth speaketh great swelling words.
Uh-huh.
Having men's persons in admiration because of advantage.
Having man's person in admiration because of advantage. They want to get by. They want to flatter people. They use, like it said in the article, they manipulate words. They try to get on people's good side. And you know what? Hey, yeah, this my boy over here. Hey, man, you saw what time they brought the food out? Why we can't have our food earlier? Yeah, you know, I'm hungry. I know you was hungry too. They do stuff like this. And it'll be subtle, real subtle. And you got to catch it like, what? You tripping. You out the spirit. It's order. You got the leadership, down the ranks, the men, the women, and then the children. Why you up here running your mouth? Or they talking about a parking spot. We ain't got no mega-sized parking lot for you to have your specific little spot. You will have somebody murmur about stuff like that. Read.
But beloved, remember ye the words which were spoken before of the apostles of our Lord Jesus Christ.
You could drop that. Get Sirach chapter 20 and verse 22. This is another thing about these murmurers. It's another spirit that they got. Because we just read the articles. The articles tell you they not going to say how they really feel. It's always in secret or in their little murmur party they throwing. Why is that? Sirach 20 and 22. Why are they like that? What spirit is that they have?
The book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 22. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness.
Through what?
Through bashfulness.
Through what?
Bashfulness.
Through what?
Bashfulness.
They're bashful. That's why they don't say how they feel. That's why they don't use the suggestion box. That's why they don't go talk to the leadership so the leadership can help and figure it out, or talk to a sister that may be a team lead, or a brother that may be a team lead, or an officer that may be over the office. That's why they don't do that. They're bashful. They're not going to come forward and say anything. From there, let's go to video 2. And what you got to understand with that murmuring spirit, again, that is the attributes of a traitor. Because you sitting in here with us, and we don't really know how you feel. Imagine that. You sitting next to a sister, and meanwhile, she feel a type of way towards you, but she don't say nothing. She say something to her little huddle. You got brothers sitting here, and they appear to be with it. That's even worse on the man's side. We going to war. But you got a problem. And you ain't saying nothing. You wait till you get round your Ace Boone, Cone, and them, and now you talking. That's a traitor. And I got the timestamps on my phone. I don't know if y'all can see it. I know it's different on the computer, but on the phone, they got the timestamps for each one. And we gonna let it play just to get the timestamp. 2:52 for the first one. The subtle shift. This is, read the title. Can you see the title, soldier? If not, If not, I'll read the title if you can't see it. Because I know it's different on the, okay.
6 signs of a, no, I can't see it.
No, I got you. Hold on, pause that. 6 signs of a traitor that you must know. Okay, let's press play. Make sure we got sound.
At first, a traitor's behavior doesn't seem so alarming. In fact, they may appear to be even more supportive than ever before.
That's that
over
being
time,
fake. That's that being fake. Phony. Play.
To notice something subtle, something that you can't quite put your finger on, but you feel it. It's a shift in their attitude, an inexplicable distance that grows between you. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, almost imperceptible at first, and that's what makes it so dangerous.
So stop. It's a shift in their interaction with you. Then we just read that they start switching up. They distancing themselves. They all the way in the corner, want to huddle with their little crew. They want to stay away from everybody. Everybody over here gathering together, but they always mission in action on purpose. Play.
They were always there for you, offering their time, their help, their loyalty. But now, they're distant, and the moments of closeness become fewer. When you try to reach out, they seem busy, distracted, or preoccupied with something else. They may still be physically present, but emotionally, they've checked out.
Woo, hold on. They physically present, but emotionally they checked out. So they here with us, but they ain't here with us. Y'all understand that? They here, but they ain't really here. Their mind is on something else. They here, they sitting down, coming around, but it's a difference in their spirit. From there, jump to 5:30, the false ally. And you can read about this in the scriptures. It was people that was appearing to be one way and they wasn't. Like you had Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot was at the table eating Passover meal. He appeared to be with Christ in the 11, but he wasn't. Play.
And Judas was healing people.
Yep. He was healing people.
He was healing people.
Go ahead, 5:30.
Sign 2, the false ally. One of the most insidious signs of a traitor is their ability to pretend to be your friend.
Wait a minute. Stop. Pretending to be your friend. Pretending to be a part of the body. They're not really a part because they've already shifted. They've already switched up. That's that being fake. Play.
The false ally. One of the most insidious signs of a traitor is their ability to pretend to be your friend. A traitor doesn't announce themselves with aggression or confrontation. They don't wear a badge that says, "I'm here to betray you." Instead, they smile, they laugh, they support you. On the surface, they pretend to be your ally, your confidant, your greatest supporter.
Stop right there. This is the attributes of a traitor, being fake. It go back to what it was saying in the articles we read. They pretending, they flattering you. Let's get to the next one. Sign 3.
How to make you feel like you're on the same team.
Sign 3
They know how to make you believe.
8:17. I'm sorry, I got the time stamp. I'm just talking about sign 3. They like, okay, we don't got that. My bad, y'all. 8:17. Sign 3. Let's see what sign 3 is.
Moment to betray you. Sign 3. The secret keeper.
The what? Hold on, pause that. What are they? The secret keeper. They not saying how they really feel. They keeping it hush hush. They coming around and they feel some type of way. They telling they little party, they little group. They little group know how they feel. That's why this happens. They sit in the back, everybody else building, but they little clique, they little crew. Ain't saying nothing to nobody. But you run your mouth in your little group. Play.
One of the clearest signs of a traitor is their tendency to withhold information. If you find that someone is consistently keeping things from you, feeding you partial truths, or even actively lying to your face, it's a red flag.
What? Stop. It's a red flag. This is what murmurers do. That behavior is a red flag. Why you switch up when somebody walk up on your little crowd? Continue your conversation. You talking about something that you probably shouldn't be talking about, or you talking about somebody. It's one of the two. You say what? The wrong. Which one? But no. From here. Let's move to sign number 4, 1028. Now the conversation is precepts. It wasn't precepts at first. Right. You didn't know what it was before you walked up, but it changed.
Sign 4, the self-servant.
Wait. These people are self-servants. They not thinking about nobody else or how they gonna affect others. These murmurers are selfish. Go ahead.
If there's one trait that a betrayer can never hide, it's their deep self-interest. While a true friend will make sacrifices for others and act in ways that benefit the collective, a traitor is motivated purely by personal gain.
So stop there. Wait a minute. Damn. Is this a righteous person or a wicked person? It's a wicked person. Is this somebody that can be trusted? Absolutely not. So if you a person that like to murmur, you need to check your spirit. These are attributes of a traitor. And every time when you read in the scriptures about somebody that was murmuring or a group of people, it was wicked behavior. I'm going to show y'all that in a minute. Play on. Matter of fact,
A self-serving trait.
hold on. We're going to drop that, go to 13:49. We're going to get sign 5, then sign 6.
Five, the underminer.
Ooh, listen good.
A traitor's greatest weapon isn't always direct confrontation.
Stop
Often-
right there. It's not always direct confrontation. This is talking about the underminer. Who ever heard of that word before? To undermine somebody. It's very slick. It's subtle. If you're not aware, you're not going to pick up on that. Like, maybe you tell a brother, hey, go mop the floor over here, and then this other brother come, and he have him go do something else. And then you confront him about it. I don't know.
Hey, and also like when even like the example you just gave, hey, the brother may say, hey, but officer told me to do this. Hey, don't worry about that. Go do this. I'll holler at the officer. Let alone he ain't holler at you to let him know about anything. That's undermining right there. That's a very subtle demon.
It's very slick. It's a slick way to disrespect a person. To hell with what he talking about. That's what you just did. With the example I just gave y'all, the person that do that, they're saying this person's unimportant. Do what I'm telling you to do. And it could seem very harmless. It seemed like they didn't mean no harm. But then when you step back, like, damn, wait a minute. He did just tell me mop the floor. And then he came and he redirected me. Damn, wait a minute. Play on.
It's the quiet, subtle act of undermining you from within. They don't need to publicly attack you. They'll destroy your reputation, your influence, and your credibility behind your back. An underminer doesn't engage in open warfare. Instead, they work quietly, planting seeds of doubt, spreading rumors, or creating situations that slowly erode your position.
Stop right there. This is what murmurers do, y'all. So should we be involved in that? Absolutely not. If a person is involved in that, they don't even understand what spirit they rolling in. This is the spirit of a traitor. Get signed 6/17/06. And this is a bad video, man. I'm telling you, it's a bad video. It even going to how to protect yourself. But we got some more we got to cover. Let's get sign 6.
Sign 6, the betrayal of trust. Nothing stings more deeply than betrayal, especially when it comes from someone you've trusted with your heart, your secrets, your business.
Stop right there. Stop right there. I want to tell y'all this. You better be mindful who you decide to confide in. And I ain't talking about you go get counsel from the leadership because leadership set up to help you, assist you. I'm talking about you don't really know this person like that. And you sitting up there, well, yeah, you know, I got this and that and that. And then if you ain't careful, now everybody up in the damn sanctuary know what you got going on because you didn't prove a friend. You didn't examine the person. Same thing on the brother side. You got to be mindful of that because these type of people will betray your trust. Be mindful of that, y'all. Be mindful of that. You could drop the video from there. Where was we at? Go to 2 Timothy 3, verse 1. We're going to read down to 7. These is more characteristics of a traitor.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1.
Read.
This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come.
We living in perilous times, brothers and sisters. Read.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
A murmurer is a lover of them own self. They not thinking about you, me, the body, nobody. They don't care. They don't even care if they murmuring is going to affect the new brothers and sisters that come up in here. They don't care. Read.
Covetous. Boasters. Proud. Blasphemers. Disobedient to parents. Unthankful. Unholy. Without natural affection. Truce breakers. False accusers.
What are they?
False accusers.
They lie. Read.
Incontinent. Fierce, despisers of those that are good.
They despise those that are good. Read.
Traitors,
They are what?
traitors,
They are what?
traitors,
They are what?
traitors,
Traitors. You cannot trust people like that. Read.
heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
We had 7.
That was 4.
That was 4. Read on.
Verse 5. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away.
God said, from such turn away. Don't associate with people like that. Read.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses, and lead captive silly women, laden with sins.
They creep in and they lead people astray. This is what these type of people do. That's why you got to be mindful of people's speech, what they saying, little slick remarks that they make. Not saying you looking for it. I'm talking about when you in the midst of conversation, you around somebody long enough, certain stuff is going to come out. Like, why would you, this sister, say the sister just graduated and she got her degree. Why would you make a slick comment that sound like an insult? Sis just graduated college and got a PhD. Why? Yeah, I ain't know she was that smart. You know she from over east. Man, what? And then everybody looking like, why would you? And then they'll try to play it off and go back to, you don't say stuff like that. But when stuff like that happen, you can't just act oblivious. Like, oh, anyway. No, ain't no anyway. Why would you say something like that? And then they say it again. And then it's another situation. They say something else. And then it's like, what? After a while, hey, what's wrong with you? From there, read on. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Class after class, congregate, and never apply what they learn. Never. They just in here. And you know, because they obviously ain't heard no scriptures on murmuring. You would think they have. They coming consistently from there.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Read the next verse.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith.
You know, the Lord is comparing these brothers as witches. Comparing them as witches.
Damn.
Not only are they witches, but they are corrupt minds, and they have no judgment concerning the faith of Christ, meaning the body of Christ. So it's very, very dangerous to be rolling in the spirit. That's all.
Hey, that's heavy. I hope y'all caught that. They were just compared to witches. Jannes and Jambres was witches. Those was the witches that every time Moses do a sign, they would try to mimic it with their witchcraft. God is comparing this type of person to a witch. And what the Bible say about witches? Death. You better pay attention. James 3 and 6. Now we're going to talk about that mouth. Murmurers don't be understanding. James 3 and 6, we're going to read to 12. Let's read fast.
The book of James chapter 3 and verse 6. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature. And it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea, is tamed, and have been tamed of mankind.
All these animals, they can be tamed, but it's something that is hard to tame. It's hard for people to get control of this thing. Think about that. People can get control of a 400-pound polar bear, a killing machine, but it's something that people have a hard time getting control of. Read.
But the tongue can no man tame.
Do y'all see that? James just named all type of animals and beasts, but he said that mouth, a man have a hard time, a woman have a hard time controlling that mouth. A small body part on your body, people got a problem with that. Why would you say this? Why would you sit up here and make up a narrative or comment on something you don't know the ins and outs of it? Read.
It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Full of what?
deadly poison.
Listen to what the Lord's saying about that mouth. And he ain't talking about your mouth shooting out poison like a snake. No, what come out of it? Read.
Therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God.
Read on.
Out of the same mouth proceeded blessing and cursing.
Read.
My brethren, these things ought not so to be.
Think about that. How you blessing and cursing somebody at the same time? That makes sense? Read.
Doth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter?
Can a fountain give you sweet water and bitter water? No, it's one or the other. Remember what it's talking about. It's talking about what come out people's mouth. Read.
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? Either a vine, figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh?
You can't pour out good and evil out the same thing. You can't. That's the power of the mouth. That's the damage that you can cause with your mouth. Sirach 28. Oh, I'm sorry. Proverbs 18 and 7. I'm sorry. Proverbs 18 and 7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 7. A fool's mouth is his destruction.
What did the Bible say?
A fool's mouth is his destruction.
A fool's mouth is his destruction. We better learn how to tame that mouth. You keep murmuring, it's going to get you one place. It's going to get your black behind kicked up out of here. You're not going to be up in here sowing discord. It's not going to happen. Read on.
And his lips are the snare of his soul.
His lips are the snares of his soul. Your own lips is going to get you in a situation. What come out of your mouth is going to get you jammed up. Not nobody else. From there, get Sirach 28, verse 12. You know how you overwrite something? I'm like, damn. I'm steady scrolling. I'm like, damn. I'm going to have to skip some stuff.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn.
Read.
If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched.
Okay. Y'all
And-
probably like, what? Why is the Lord talking about spitting? What? Why is he talking about putting a fire out? Just listen to what God's saying to us. Read.
And both these come out of thy mouth.
Wait a minute. He said both these come out of your mouth. Okay. Read.
Curse the whisperer and double tongue.
Wait a minute. Now we see what God talking about. Read that again.
Curse the whisperer and double tongue.
Curse the whisperer and the double tongue. Read.
For such have destroyed many that were at peace.
What have a whisperer and the double tongue done?
Destroyed many that were at peace.
Read on.
A backbiting tongue have disquieted many and driven them from nation to nation.
Read.
Strong cities had it pulled down and overthrown the houses of great men.
This is what the tongue has done to people. This is what murmuring can do to people. Read.
A backbiting tongue have cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors.
Verse 17 and 18. Read that.
The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones.
That's what you can do with your mouth. With that murmuring. You can destroy souls. Read.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue.
Okay, now we going to have to skip some stuff because I ain't know I wrote all this, y'all. I just was zoning out. All right. So let's get that article. I think it's an article. Yep, Article 3. Yeah, that's the last article. Yep, Article 3. All right. Now, the thing with this was put together by, of course, Christians, right? So what I want to look at is the characteristics, how they got them laid out. Characteristics. Go ahead, read that title, soldier.
Characteristics of a betrayer, Judas Iscariot.
So scroll down. Let's get the characteristics. We may not be able to read them all because we got a few more scriptures. I'm talking about a few. Y'all don't know this. Look, this. I'm like, damn. Scroll down. Let's get the characteristics. It's numbered like 1, 2. going to be towards the bottom. Nope, keep going. Keep going. Oh, yep, right there. All praise BT be on point, y'all.
All right.
Zoom in a little bit. My brother, he gonna need that zoom in. I know my brother. For sure. Yep.
Right.
Boom. Let's go.
Number 1, the traitor is usually someone close to you that has become so familiar with you that they believe that they're more qualified to do what you are doing.
Damn. That's what murmurers do. Well, they don't know what they doing. They don't. Why they playing this like that? I don't want to go to this park for the barbecue. I got a better park. Number 2.
The traitor is usually someone who is bitter about their own personal failures.
And a murmurer, most of the murmurers be bitter too. That's another trait that they got. So they sitting around running their mouth. 3.
Many times, the traitor can have a good personality and even give the appearance that they are leaders.
They somebody to talk to. Or you can talk to me, sis. Or you can talk to me, bro.
Wolves in sheep clothing.
Yep. Number 4.
The traitor can also be very sincere, very emotional, but most of all, very arrogant.
Very what?
Very arrogant.
That's not a spirit we supposed to have. The Lord said, take arrogancy out of your mouth. 5.
The traitor also likes to look for others who have an axe to grind against the one they are betraying.
Y'all see that? Dude, you don't like that officer either, do you? You don't like that soldier either, do you? Yeah, I don't.
Oh, no.
He up there gonna tell me I gotta move my purse. Yeah, I don't like him either.
Hey, no, also what happened is, hey, man, what you think about officer such and such, man? That's how they come. Hey, what you think about that? They come just like that.
Very subtle. Very subtle. They come real soft-spoken. Number 6.
You want me to finish 5?
Oh, yep, go ahead.
They find people who are jealous, vindictive, bitter,
Whoa. Read.
or implacable
Hard to deal with. Read.
to join them in their betrayal.
That's the murmur party, y'all. That's the murmur party forming. So they got to find people that feel the same way they do, that's not saying nothing, so they can huddle together and talk ish. I'm going to show y'all something. Read 6. And then we going to have to cut this one. Because I want to show y'all something about that, because it said they search for people who feel the same way. Read 6.
The traitor is usually jealous, covetous, envious, and lustful of what the victim of the betrayal has.
So they may start murmuring about a person because that person has a position, or they may have favor, or people may flock to them and they want that. So they're envious and they start to talk about the person, or they slander the person, or they don't like the way things are moving and they feel like they got the juice. And this is what they do. I'm going to show y'all something, right? Go to Sirach chapter 27, verse 9. You got to be mindful. You got to be mindful. Right now, I'm skipping some stuff.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 9. The birds will resort unto their like.
What did God say?
The birds will resort unto their like.
We got a mic in the crowd. Crowd mic. You can just stand up, soldier. When it said the birds will resort to their like, what is God saying? That's the murmuring party. Deny the invite. That's the murmuring party. Meaning, you like to murmur, they like to murmur. So y'all cool. Y'all see that? Like we just gave the example. You don't like this senior sister. You know, I don't like her neither. So that's what make y'all click. Y'all ain't clicking because Y'all both love the truth. Y'all happy to be here. You growing, she growing. That ain't why y'all get cool. Y'all got cool based off wickedness. Read that again.
The birds will resort unto their like.
Birds of a feather flock together. Read on.
So will truth return unto them that practice in her.
Sirach 6 and 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 17.
Read.
Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright.
So a man or a woman that fear the Lord, they're going to direct their friendship aright. Meaning what? They're going to choose their friends wisely. Read on.
For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
What's the saying? Show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. So if all your friends in here, sis, is murmurers, what that say about you? If all your friends in here, brother, is murmurers, what that say about you? You a murmurer. Because a murmurer, somebody that don't murmur is not going to be cool with a person that murmur because it's going to vex your spirit. You're going to check them. You're going to like, why you always coming in my ear talking about what you don't like? Why you don't go talk to the person?
Right.
Read. You read 6 and 17? You read it all the way through?
Yes, sir.
Jump to Sirach 13 and verse 1.
Book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 1.
This is what you got to understand. If you find yourself in the midst of the murmuring and you just listening, you ain't no better. Read that verse.
He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
You ain't correcting nobody, but you listening, you hearing it all. You right in the midst. Read.
And he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him.
Meaning what? You ain't innocent. You sit there and listen to they murmuring all the time. You don't say nothing to them. They talking bad about sisters, brothers. They complaining about orders. They getting other people to join their murmur party. They in there doing the kid and play dance in the damn corner in their damn murder party. Read. I'm sorry, jump down to verse 15 now. See how the Bible keeps saying the same thing over and over, y'all? Read that, 15.
Verse 15. Every beast loveth his like.
Every beast loveth his like. Murmurers, they like to be around other murmurers. Read on.
And every man loveth his neighbor.
Every man loveth his neighbor. You rock with them because they move how you move. Read.
All flesh consorteth according to kind.
All flesh come together according to what? They likes, they values, what they got in common. What you got in common is murmuring and talking in secret. Yeah, y'all gonna be ace spoon coons. That's gonna be your rappy, your best friend. Read.
And a man will cleave to his like.
A man will cleave to his like. Now, flip side, because this ain't all negative, this go for righteousness too. If you a sister that love to be here, love the fellowship, guess who you gonna end up cleaving to? The sister that got the same spirit. Y'all gonna be back there turning up on the new moon. Same thing on the brother side. The brothers that like to blitz and travel all over the place and they amped up on fire, what's gonna happen? They gonna cleave to the brothers that's like that. The brothers that's like go-getters and always trying to find and make different ideas, they gonna cleave to each other. So it go both ways in righteousness and wickedness. But we talking about on the wicked side with this murmuring. That's why they have a murmur party, because all of them is in cahoots. All of them, they got the same mind. Read.
What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly.
Drop that from there. I want to show this. What did our forefathers do to traitors? 2 Maccabees 10:22. 2 Maccabees 10:22. What did our forefathers do to traitors? I just want to show like the mindset of our forefathers. They didn't keep traitors around. They didn't want to continue to be around somebody that was a traitor. That person had to go.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
So he slew those that were found traitors.
What did Judas Maccabeus do?
He slew those that were found traitors.
He was putting the traitors to death. Off with your head. What is that? Where that come from? No, not Mortal Kombat. What was the Game of Thrones? That's what be happening. That's where they get that from. Our forefathers wasn't playing. You a traitor, you got to go. Like, you got to physically go. If you a traitor, if you are in this murmur spirit, you got to go outside these doors. You got to bye. Goodbye. You got to get up out of here. Romans 16 and 17.
Hey, before you get that off,
Yep.
Hey, get Psalms 101 real quick.
Bring it
Just
out.
to go into that same vein of what our forefathers did in 2nd Maccabees.
Bring it out.
Because that's the spirit of the Lord you're dealing in when you want to get rid of those traitors. Psalms 101, start at verse 3.
The book of Psalms 101 and verse 3. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me.
So if you rolling in the spirit of deceit, murmur, slander, being a traitor, sowing discord amongst the congregation, you can't cleave with the Lord. I mean, you can't cleave with his people either. Keep reading. Read. Verse 4.
A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person.
So a forward heart or a forward mind will depart from the Lord because he don't want to be around anybody that's wicked. Read on.
Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off.
Read it again.
Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off.
Read it again.
Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off.
So you privately slandering your brother, guess what's coming to you? You getting cut off. Off with the head. Keep reading.
Him that hath an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer.
So that's going back to some of the stuff we read in Proverbs 6, those abominations, those things that the Lord hates. Keep going. There's a little bit more in this. So this is a chapter that you brothers and sisters can read, because in 1 Peter 2, it says, lay aside all malice, and it's talking about evil speaking. This is a chapter that you can meditate on to lay that spirit aside and get rid of it when you pray and fast, asking the Lord to get that evil spirit off of you. But keep reading.
Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me.
So that's Caleb and Joshua. That's Caleb and Joshua. The Lord wanted them type of spirits to roll with them, but the wicked ones, Keep going.
He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house.
Read it again.
He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house.
So you're not going to dwell in the congregation here, nor in the congregation in the kingdom of heaven. Keep reading.
He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight.
Damn. The Lord don't even want no liars around him. You can't even be around him, not even for a second. Read on.
I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord.
And we know that the city of the Lord is Jerusalem, but Jerusalem is a people before it's a land. So you got to go. If you're sowing discord, like the officer stated, you got to go. So get your mind right.
Get your mind right, for you be outside. Understand that. We not playing that up in here. Get Romans 16 and 17. And then the murmurers, what they be murmuring about? They murmur about judgments they get passed. How you murmuring about judgment, and you can't even explain who you is according to the Bible? How you murmuring about judgments, and we can't understand? We can't keep. We got to keep our legs closed. Why you worrying about judgment? That don't make no sense. Focus on what you need to focus on. Learn how to keep God's laws before you start worrying about things that's above your pay grade. Let's read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 16 and verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses.
It said, mark them that cause divisions. Murmurers cause division. And what are we supposed to do? Read.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned.
And do what?
And avoid them.
And do what?
Avoid them.
If we avoid them, y'all, where they at? Outside. They not up in here. Because you're causing division amongst the brothers and sisters. So you got to go. Get Acts 20 and verse 28.
The book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock over the which the Holy Ghost have made you overseers.
So Paul was warning the brothers and sisters, take heed, watch the people around you. Read.
Which the Holy Ghost had made you overseers to feed the church of God, which he have purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock.
Some people gonna come in the congregation on pure bull crap, coming to destroy, coming to mess up what the Most High has built. Read.
Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them.
Speaking perverse things, murmuring. That's them perverse things to draw people away to them. Look, you saw how they talked to me. You saw how they did me. Don't you feel the way I feel? Don't you see what I see? To get you on their side. Let's see if that happened in the Bible. Numbers 16 and then Proverbs 22. Numbers 16 and 1. We're going to be fast with these last three.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, and the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
So these men already had position. Do y'all see that? They already had position, but what they had wasn't good enough. Read.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And said,
wait, hold on. For that to happen, what was going on, y'all? Y'all all could say it. Murmuring. I don't like what Aaron be doing. Me neither. I don't like what Moses be doing. I don't like his sister neither. Miriam always running her damn mouth. Yeah, I think we need to be in charge. That's what was going on. You don't get, right. You don't get 250 people to just assemble together out of nowhere. No, it's people talking in the background. Read.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
Stop right there. Who put Moses in charge? Everybody could say it. The Most High God. So what was they talking about? They was jealous and envious, and they was murmuring. Last scripture, Proverbs 22 and 10. Proverbs 22 and 10. What you got to do with these type of people to make it peaceful in the congregation? Let's see what the Bible says. You finna say something? All praise to the Father.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 10. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease.
God said it's going to be peaceful when we get your big mouth behind out of here. It's going to be peaceful. So let that be a warning. Brothers, sisters, if you're murmuring, you get caught, we hear about it, you sowing discord, you will be getting the Learn Online package.
LOL.
Not laugh out loud. Learn online. You getting fresh prints.
Bye-bye.
All right, hey, y'all, support the Booster Club, 12 Tribes Worldwide. Make sure you donate. Most High in Christ bless. Shalom.
Maybe one day God gon' change your spirit. Lord willing. No, we don't fold up under pressure. We go harder than we ever did before. The sons of God, we gon' take the kingdom back. That's a fact. That's what I know. We in your city, state to state, place to place. Yeah, you know we on the